Hello. I'd like to start off reading you one of my favourite poems by Federico García Lorca. My heart of silk is filled with lights, with lost bells, with lilies and bees. I will go very far, farther than those mountains, farther than the oceans, way up near the stars, to ask Christ the Lord to give back to me the soul I had as a child, matured by fairy tales, with its hat of feathers and its wooden sword.
I hope that you enjoyed a storied childhood, and perhaps it has left you with a feeling of longing to reclaim that. But why would that be? We tell stories all the time. We're addicted to stories, in the news cycle, in the media. Sometimes they can be substitutes for our own lives, vicariously lived, yet addictive. We're insatiable for them, for what happens next, and are left ultimately empty. Early stories in the oral tradition transmitted the history, values, and teaching of the tribe. The world reached into tribal communities. Civilization developed, and gradually books, films, newspapers, and so on took the place of the traditional storyteller. And today, marketing exploits our deep human need of stories. Content creators use stories as a way of convincing consumers and audiences, encouraging bonds of loyalty to products and brands rather than to each other. And digital storytelling creates an irresistible dopamine hit. Video games invite players to participate in stories. A virtual world is created, a substitute for the real world, which may be difficult, painful, or unfulfilled. No wonder we're drawn to so much that society has to offer us today. Yet something is missing. The great Sufi mystic Jalaluddin Rumi told us clearly, don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. Perhaps we don't always recognise that we're unique, that we all have our own story and experience of the world, unlike that of anybody else who ever lived or who ever will live. The mythologist Joseph Campbell guided us. What each must seek in his life never was on land or sea. It is something out of his own unique potentiality for experience, something that never has been and never could have been experienced by anyone else. We have perhaps many stories inside us waiting to be told. We have a legacy to leave because we lived here for a time. We may be living in a world from which we want to escape. We may turn to fantasy, provided in numerous forms by our rich human history and culture, infused or fused with our own imagination. As W.B. Yeats wrote, come away, O human child, to the water and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. There is consolation here, and there's more than that. Our dream life, our unconscious, our imagination provide a wellspring of creativity to draw on, within which we have freedom to discover stories swirling as yet untold in our inner life. Attributed to the romantic poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge. What if you slept? And what if in your sleep you dreamed? And what if in your dream you went to heaven and there plucked a strange and beautiful flower? And what if, when you awoke, you had that flower in your hand? Ah, what then? Do you have a story to tell from memory, experience, imagination? What have you learned along the way which you may be burning to share with others? Perhaps memoir, perhaps fiction. An invitation from the writer Toni Morrison. If there's a book you really want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. What will your imagination yield? Nurture the life of the imagination and your own creative expression, and bring forth the insights you've gained. There's no need to wait any longer. As the great writer and editor Maya Angelou tells us, there is no greater agony than having an untold story inside you. How has life transformed you? Have you been able to break the surly bonds of earth, as the poet John Gillespie Magee Jr. wrote in the sonnet High Flight, which featured in my previous video? Have you been able to transcend the everyday, to access deeper truths, a higher spiritual dimension, even for a moment? A moment may be enough for a lifetime. As the romantic poet and artist William Blake wrote, to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Our lives will end and our memories will end with it. So is passive consumption of the stories in our culture enough? Consider that our stories can last beyond us if we choose to tell them. Our story is happening now. We're each on a unique journey. It may be in others' footsteps. Inspiration can guide us, the spirit of adventure, of courage, of fulfillment. Our destination may be the same name as that of many other peoples throughout history, but the journey is our own. I'll leave you with some inspiration for your creative journey, your storied life. Ithaca by the poet Constantine P. Cavafy, based on the homeward journey of Odysseus. As you set out for Ithaca, hope your road is a long one, full of adventure, full of discovery. Lastrygonians, Cyclops, angry Poseidon. Don't be afraid of them. You'll never find things like that on your way, as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, as long as a rare excitement stirs your spirit and your body. Lastrygonians, Cyclops, wild Poseidon. You won't encounter them unless you bring them along inside your soul, unless your soul sets them up in front of you. Hope your road is a long one. May there be many summer mornings when with what pleasure, what joy, you enter harbours you're seeing for the first time. May you stop at Phoenician trading stations to buy fine things, mother of pearl and coral, amber and ebony, sensual perfume of every kind, as many sensual perfumes as you can. And may you visit many Egyptian cities to learn and go on learning from their scholars. Keep Ithaca always in your mind. Arriving there is what you're destined for. But don't hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years, so you're old by the time you reach the island, wealthy with all you've gained on the way, not expecting Ithaca to make you rich. Ithaca gave you the marvellous journey. Without her, you wouldn't have set out. She has nothing left to give you now. And if you find her poor, Ithaca won't have fooled you. Wise as you will have become, so full of experience, you'll have understood by then what these Ithacas mean.